Hi traders, Mandy here from High Performance Trading. So yesterday I worked with a really interesting, phenomenal trader. He has already several funded accounts. He uses a trade copier to trade across the different accounts, and he regularly draws payouts, several $1,000s, right, from his trading. So we could say he's in the top 10% of traders, considering that still 90% of traders lose money. But from time to time, he just sabotages his trading and just does things that are unnecessary. And he knows he can do better. He can be a better trader. And that's why he contacted me to find out what it is, what these obstacles are that affect his trading. So what happened on Friday, which was the last day of the trading month, was that he had a trading plan. And the plan said, if price hits that level, then I'm going to buy. And guess what? You know, it was a really good plan because the sellers came in, they couldn't push past that level, the buyers came in, and that was the moment when he was supposed to buy. But he didn't buy. He talked himself out of it. Now listen to the difference. He said at first, you know, the sellers came in, couldn't push past this level, and then that was where my entry was. When the moment of doubt came, it was all about, I'm not sure. So he made it all about himself, right? I'm not sure. I don't know. It was nothing about the market anymore, right? So it was the self-doubt that stopped him, which he wasn't aware of at the time, of course, that we figured out together. And he was like, oh my God, it's so obvious now. I said, see, this is something for you to look out for. But of course, it's never the problem that is the problem. So we had to dig a little deeper and find out what was the motivating factor of those fears. So because what happened, he didn't take the first trade, and as the market does in its kindness, it always gives us another opportunity, right? And shortly thereafter, there was a continuation pattern of that long pattern setup. And again, you know, he saw the setup, the second setup. He's like, yep, that's my trade. And he talked himself out of it exactly the same way. I don't know. I'm not quite sure. And didn't take the trade. And then he got frustrated because if he had taken those two trades, he would have reached his daily target and would have been done for the day. And so he got frustrated with himself and angry with himself. And as you know, because we all have done it, he jumped into the runaway trade pretty much at the top before the market turned around and went into the lows of the day. So the good thing is he didn't go on tilt, but he still incurred a loss that he didn't need to have. That was really unnecessary. So when I asked him, what was it that you told yourself to justify not to take this trade? He said, you know, I didn't want to deal with the drawdown and I didn't want to destroy my beautiful stats. And I had quite a good payout already lined up and I didn't want to destroy my payout. And guess what? In German, we have the saying, was man befürchtet, das tritt auf ein. And which means the very thing that you're afraid of will happen is usually what we create. Or to say it in the words of the famous Sir John Templeton, traders lose money in the attempt not to lose money. And this is exactly what happened for him. So now we had to look at what was the context, what was the driving force, what was going on in his unconscious that caused him to behave in those ways. And it took us about 3 hours, but we got there. And about 8 years ago, he did something, in his own words, which was really stupid. And it had a really big impact on his life, so much so that he had to move back to his parents' place. He had dug himself a really big hole. But you know what? He got out of it. And he's now back bigger and better. So yes, he stuffed up and he did things that he wished he hadn't, but now he's become a better person for it. But the thing is, he had a lot of shame and guilt around these experiences and embarrassment because, you know, having to move back to his parents' place at the age of 30-something, that, you know, was not something that he had in his life plan. So we worked on helping him to find peace with what happened, and to let go of the shame and the guilt, and to understand that, hey, you know, we all have done things that we wish we hadn't, and it's a completely normal human experience, and that he doesn't need to punish himself for it, and he doesn't need to think of I need to make good for it, I need to find a way to make up for it. No, we don't need to. Like, the past is the past, leave it in the past and create a new future, being your best, right? There's nothing that you have to make up for. So we did this work, and also we helped him to understand that whatever fears came up in his trading had nothing to do with his trading, because logically he knows that he can deal with a drawdown, that he doesn't need to worry about it, because he knows how to trade. He has proven it over and over again that his strategy has an edge. What was really going on was this self-doubt, that lack of self-trust that he had from what happened 8 years ago was subliminally impacting his trading decisions today. So his past was impacting his present. What we had to do, we had to put the past back into the past so that he's free to make his decisions about the future without it impacting. And that's the work that we've done. So ask yourself, what are things that I've done in my life, or that you've done in your life, that you regret, that you wish you hadn't, that you still feel shame and guilt and embarrassment or pain, right? Generally, whatever that pain is, that you still feel about it. The fighter jets, we are actually at the French border, and it's the military here, so they're running the fighter jets, or flying the fighter jets, I should say. That's the noise that you hear in the background. So ask yourself, what is something that you wish you hadn't done, and then go and find peace with it, because I guarantee you it's still seeping into your trading decisions today. And when you find peace in it and leave that in the past, you will have clarity of mind, you will have confidence, you will know that you can trust yourself, and that will give you certainty to take the trades. And even if they don't work out, it doesn't matter, because you know how to deal with a drawdown, right? It makes you just stronger and better. So happy trading. I'm going to go for my run in my beautiful forest. So I don't know, can you see it? So a little bit warm, still close to 30 degrees today. Happy trading.